Orwell Park School is a co-ed day and boarding prep school. The school is over 150 years old and has been on the current site for over 70 of those. The main reason we were looking to change the phone system was, the imperative behind it was the ISDN 30 coming to an end, and so we needed to look at some form of transition regardless of whether we were changing systems or not. The older system was quite expensive to maintain, it was internal, you'd have to wait for an engineer to come to site to resolve any issues, and we were pretty much maxed out on our internal cabling because it was digital phone cabling as opposed to network cabling. So as part of this process, because of the relationship I had already developed with Southern Communications working with another school, I decided to sort of look at that as a complete alternative, to remove the old system and go with the hosted system. We wanted to go with a VoIP-based system. We knew we had a really good, robust internet connection, but so we could have confidence in a hosted system being something we could work well with. What I really liked about the Southern Communication system was what I'd seen in terms of partly the paging, but specifically the lockdown and emergency evacuation options there. As any school has to, we have rehearsed lockdowns and we have gone through the processes, but those were relying on email. They weren't particularly robust. It required people to kind of be a bit more on it. So having a system which just announces to the school, this is the situation we're in and it's configurable so we don't scare the children and all the rest of it, just says this is a lockdown, let's go for it. We also, at the same time, we have our old class change system was based on a fire alarm, which meant it was very, very aggressive, very, very strident, and a lot of teachers and parents and staff and pupils didn't like it. Having spoken to Southern about it, we realised we could include the paging speakers, so it wasn't just based around telephones, which meant that we could kill a number of birds with one stone. The opportunity of having the paging system meant we had a wide choice of tones and sounds that we could use. The speakers were in place, we had the telephones in the classrooms, so we were able to choose a sound for the class change that was much more unobtrusive. The licensing allowed us to very cheaply put phones in every single classroom, so we got some great breadth of coverage across the whole school, and it meant that we could do straightforward announcements. There are times when a parent comes to pick a child up, they might be moving between lessons, we can just say, that person come to this location please. So the Evernex combined with the paging speakers just allowed us to be much more flexible in how we could use it and, like I say, solve a number of problems all at the same time. I think if I was to choose three words to sum up the relationship with SCG, the first one would be flexible. The company's been flexible, the system has been flexible, and I think that's probably the greatest benefit of this relationship. I think the second one would be communication. The communication has been really strong. We've been able to get answers to questions really quickly. And I think the third one would be simplicity. To a point, these systems are not simple, but I had the confidence, particularly from my previous experience in the other school I was working with SCG, of knowing that actually when the SCG engineers walked through the door to do that main installation, they would know what they're doing, they would ask simple questions, we'd be able to give simple answers, and the process, for all that it is a complex process, switching phone systems, it didn't feel like things were going wrong. It felt simple, it felt flowing. So based on my experience, I definitely recommend SCG as a telephony provider. I've now seen them go into 2 different schools and I've seen it be pretty much seamless. So I'd absolutely be prepared to recommend SCG. I would also recommend the product itself, because the company has been a great company to work with, but the reason I chose them to be here was as much about the product and this great Evernex combined with the paging system. That's the thing that really appealed to me, and so the SCG component was something I was just confident would be able to deliver that.